Your leadership is crucial to this House, and we have every confidence in you. First Deputy Speaker, the President's speech was not merely a list of policies. It was a call for unity, it was a call for action, and it was a call for national renewal. It was a speech that looked at the severe challenges that we face in the eye. It was a speech that was presented in a very clear, comprehensive, and actionable plan to overcome them. First Deputy Speaker, on unity and national purpose, the President rightly noted that Malawians voted beyond regional, tribal, and religious divides. This must be our lesson and our standard. These differences must never be used to discriminate. We are called to place national interest above self, a principle echoed in Philippians 2, verse 3, which serves as our normal compass. I pledge to embody this collaborative spirit for my constituents and all Malawians. First Deputy Speaker, the issue of unity is rightly quoted in the book of 1 Corinthians 12, verse 12 to verse 26. And I quote, "For the body is one, even though it's got so many parts. And I cannot say, because I'm not an ear, therefore I do not belong to the body. For the entire body were just an eye, how would it hear? And if the entire body were just an ear, how would it smell?" In essence, First Deputy Speaker, the verse continues to say, "And therefore, the eye cannot say to the hand, I do not need you. Nor can the head say to the feet, I do not need you." This was the essence in the President's message about unity. If one part of the body suffers, the whole part of the body suffers with it. And if one part of the body is praised, the whole body feels happiness. This is the same with Malawi. Malawi is one body, even though we have the southern region, northern region, central region, and the eastern region. The South cannot therefore reject the North and tell it that we don't need you. Nor can the East reject the Central that we do not need you. Because without every region, there is no Malawi. I support the call for unity and urge honorable members to know that once people are united, there are people that profit from the disunity that is there. Those are the enemies that we face. On the economy, the President painted a grim but accurate picture of our economy. An inflation rate of 28.2% is not static. It is a painful reality in Blantyre, Kabula, Chiromoni, Nancholi markets who cannot afford a bag of maize. It is a painful reality for the fathers, the guards from Manasseh, CI, Gaka, Chiromoni, Abanoni, who struggle to buy soap, those who struggle to buy salt. The national debt, which has ballooned from 4.1 trillion, First Deputy Speaker, when we left government in 2020, to 21 trillion now, is a milestone around the neck of our children's future. First Deputy Speaker, indeed an economic indicator is alarming, but what gives us the confidence is that the President's honest acknowledgement of the problem and the immediate steps that his administration has already begun to take. Engaging financiers for debt treatment and seeking grants are not just words. They are crucial actions to stop the bleeding and stabilize our fiscal situation. Furthermore, First Deputy Speaker, the declaration of the national disaster and the swift procurement of the 200,000 metric tons of maize from Zambia is a clear testament that this government is committed to ensuring that no Malawian dies of hunger. It's a commitment, and a serious one, that no Malawian ever eats chiteze again. This is the proven leadership in action. This is a decisive and yet compassionate type of action. First Deputy Speaker, the introduction of farm input subsidy to 1.1 million is a strong warning, and the strong warning that the President put against the fake fertilizer is a direction we must be taking. First Deputy Speaker, the concrete plans for energy are most welcome. The return to open tender system for the fuel will bring efficiency and aid. On governance, President's commitment to zero tolerance for corruption and the empowerment of Anti-Corruption Bureau is the bedrock upon which all these plans will succeed. Without good governance, Mr. Speaker, even the best plans will fail. And in this House, we have sacred duty to support this mission. First Deputy Speaker, the vision for industrialization and strategic development in the mining sector with a sovereign fund to benefit all Malawians and focus on economic diplomacy.
You have 2 minutes to go.
A future of self-reliance, sustainable growth. Mr. Speaker, if not proven leadership in action, then one must be ignorant not to see. In conclusion, First Deputy Speaker, the President has presented us with a robust blueprint. He has been honest about the challenges, but has also provided a clear way forward on how to overcome those challenges. He has asked us to rise to the occasion. First Deputy Speaker, as a young parliamentarian, I choose to answer that call. As a young parliamentarian, I choose to be part of this solution. As a young parliamentarian, I choose to support this agenda in this House. I will look forward to work diligently to ensure that the people of Blantyre City, Chiromoni, Kabula, and Choli constituency feel the positive impact of the programs. First Deputy Speaker, I believe our energy is the most effective when guided by proven leadership. The DBP's plan in government is a testament of a proven track record. First Deputy Speaker, I urge this House, therefore, especially my fellow young legislators, to unite behind this vision, the vision of His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. That's also setting aside partisan differences.
Order. Honourable member who is picking up your mobile phone in the chamber, to the point of the speaker listening to it, please desist from such conduct. The honourable member at the far end of my left in the aisle, the one standing in the aisle with tinted glasses. Please.
As I conclude, First Deputy Speaker, I urge this House, especially my fellow young legislators, to unite behind the vision of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, setting aside partisan differences to work with humility and dedication for a better Malawi. We fought for proven leadership. Malawians believed us. We have now Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika as the President for the Republic. Immediately after that, I think 3 weeks later, there were some announcements that were made in terms of cutting government costs. That's the direction we should be taking. That's a proven leadership that we voted for. First Deputy Speaker, may God bless this House, and may God bless the Republic of Malawi, and may God bless Peter Mutharika. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Nancholi Kabula constituency. I see the leader rising.
First Deputy Speaker, I wish to beg that we revert back to ministerial statements, and this time the Honourable Minister of Energy, Mines and Natural Resources. I beg to move. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Leader, for that guidance. We don't need a motion. as we already guided the House. Honourable members, allow me to recognize the Honourable Minister of Energy. Honourable Minister of Energy, please hold on first. The Honourable Minister of Energy. Excuse
Item
us.
3, government business.
You will excuse us.
Ministerial statement.
Order.
The Honourable
Members.
Minister of Natural Resources,
Honourable Minister of Energy.
and Mining to present a statement on the
You-
state of electricity and fuel in the country.
Honourable Minister, apologies, we took you to the podium before the table clerk had read the statement. They have just done that. You have the floor to address the House. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, let me begin by sincerely thanking you for giving me this opportunity to deliver a statement on the current power and fuel supply situation in our country, as well as to outline the short and medium-term measures that government is putting in place. My statement will mainly focus on two key areas: electricity access and the supply of liquid fuels. Honourable Deputy Speaker, our nation is facing a power supply crisis. The current electricity supply situation is far from desirable. Demand has always surpassed supply and forcing us to implement scheduled load shedding, and particularly during the evening and morning peak hours. As of 21st October 2025, the maximum system demand stood at 420 megawatts, and Malawi's installed generation capacity is at 551 megawatts, and composed of the following: 398 megawatt hydro, where we generate our electricity along the Shire River at Nkula, Tedzani, and Kapichira, and 101 megawatts solar power, 52 megawatt diesel generation. Additionally, we import about 8 megawatts from Zambia and Mozambique, bringing the total to 551 megawatt. However, Honourable Deputy Speaker, the available capacity is estimated at 341.8 megawatt, and this is significantly lower than the installed capacity. The solar power, for instance, is intimate and available only during sunlight hours, and this is so because of lack of batteries for storage. Faults and plant maintenance further reduce available capacity. Currently, Tedzan 3 Unit 5, which contributes 31 megawatts, has been out of service since December 2024. And I repeat, Tedzan 3 Unit 5, which contributes 31 megawatt, has been out of service since December 2024 due to a burnt stator winding. And the shortage of foreign exchange delayed the procurement of critical spare parts, worsening the situation. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this is also compounded by the rising electricity demand, particularly during this agro-processing season for tobacco, tea, and sugar industries that consume a substantial share of national electricity. Aging infrastructure in generation, transmission, and distribution has also led to frequent blackouts. Furthermore, fuel shortages have hampered maintenance efforts, causing delays in fault clearance and limiting generation from diesel peaking plants. Honourable Deputy Speaker, government will take decisive short as well as long-term actions. And in the short term, government is laying the foundation to reduce electricity blackouts. Firstly, we are working to restore all generation machines at Ejenko. The unavailable 31 megawatt at Tedzani 3 will be fully restored by December 2025. As the required spare parts have already been procured and will arrive this month end. Please note that government has intensified maintenance in the readiness for the rainy season, hence leading to more load shedding. Honorable Deputy Speaker, additionally, government through the Salima Solar Power Plant will add 10 megawatt to the grid by December this year, 2025. With an additional 2.5 megawatt hour battery storage to be commissioned by March 2026. We need this because we need to stabilize the mix of the power in the grid. Thirdly, the Mozambique-Malawi interconnector to be commissioned in the first quarter of 2026 will enable us to import up to 50 megawatt of power. Furthermore, Riply, under an independent power producer IPP arrangement, will commission a 10 megawatt biomass power plant. By this month end, we're going to inject into the grid another 10 megawatt from the bypass. Now, to stabilize the grid, Honorable Deputy Speaker, to stabilize the grid, a 20 megawatt battery energy storage system base will also be commissioned by March 2026. And this is so to mitigate load shedding, customers are grouped and rotated to ensure fair distribution of available power. Industrial consumers and essential facilities such as hospitals are the last to be affected during scheduled outages. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in the long term, government is laying a solid foundation for lasting electricity security and industrial growth. We cannot begin to talk about industrial growth without adequate power. So construction of a 358.5 megawatt Patamanga hydropower project will commence in 2026 under a public-private partnership arrangement. This flagship project will significantly boost national capacity and allow Malawi to export power through the regional interconnectors. The Ejenko Salima Nanjoka Solar Power Plant will be expanded from the current 10 megawatt to 50 megawatt with 8 megawatt hour battery storage by 2029. And the Wavi hydropower plant, which is currently at 4.5 megawatt, will be expanded to 9 megawatt. Government will facilitate the implementation of the 300 megawatt Kamwamba coal-fired power project under an IPP model to provide stable power for industrial use. In addition, we are supporting IPPs, these are independent power producers, with signed power purchase agreements. We've got several of them in solar, hydro, wind, and gas to accelerate diversification of the energy mix. Through the Malawi Emergency Power Restoration Project, damaged transmissions and distribution infrastructure will be rehabilitated to improve reliability and resilience. Collectively, these interventions will substantially reduce load shedding, improve reliability, and create a stronger platform for Malawi's economic transformation. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I'll now turn to fuel supply. The country has recently, or is recently, experiencing shortages, primarily due to the following. One, limited foreign currency allocations. which constrained financing for the imports. This has consequently resulted into government through NOCMA owing a lot of money to fuel suppliers. 2, limited access to international seaports. 3, depleted storage reserves. And 4, limited capacity of local transporters. And the situation was worsened by recent unrest in Tanzania following elections and by the transition from the open tender system of procurement to a government-to-government procurement model. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, despite these, government is working tirelessly to normalize the situation. We know we have inherited this mess. But we have inherited this mess. And we're not going to run away from responsibility. We are here to solve this. And we'll solve. Our priority is to ensure that the imports consistently meet national demand by 1, increasing the allocation of foreign exchange for fuel imports. 2, improving accessibility of Malawi to seaports through constant engagement with neighboring countries. 3, ensuring that there is cost-reflective tariff. 4, reverting to the open tender system to enhance efficiency, transparency, and value for money. 5, diversifying importers to promote competition and reduce dependency on a few suppliers. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, my ministry is taking the following measures to ensure stable fuel availability, fair pricing, and stronger national energy security, which are critical to sustaining economic growth. As I said earlier on, we cannot begin to talk of meaningful strides towards industries in Malawi without adequate energy. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, in an effort to stabilize fuel supply due to shortage of forex, my ministry has intensified consultations with the Ministry of Finance, Reserve Bank of Malawi, and local commercial banks to secure increased foreign exchange allocations for financing fuel imports. Government has also engaged multilateral banks for a credit facility in the ranges of about $120 million to $150 million to stabilize the current fuel situation and for restocking our fuel reserves. The ongoing consultations with Ministry of Finance, Reserve Bank of Malawi, and local commercial banks will address this matter and permit continuous loadings in November to December. Let me assure Malawians that the country will continue to get fuel despite these challenges. And as we sit today in this House, between today and Friday, this coming Friday, the 14th, the country will receive 92 trucks of fuel, translating to we are expecting 92 trucks to jet in between today and Friday. And you are free to, and this is translating to 3,250,000 liters of fuel. Yes, that's between today and Friday. But we continue to get. Deputy.
Honour members, order. Order to my left and order to my right. The Honourable Minister is delivering a very important, very important piece of statement that Malawians are listening out there. So let's accord her the dignity she deserves. Thank you very much.
Deputy Speaker, sir, with the country's reserves of 92 million litres, having been depleted last year in July 2024, I will repeat this. Our strategic reserves of fuel were depleted in July 2024, that's last year. And this government has inherited a hand-to-mouth situation in fuel supply situation. As imports are currently being released on arrival towards day-to-day consumption, we are storing nothing in our reserves. And as we speak, there is 0 litres in the stocks. In the month of October, Honourable Deputy Speaker, sir, in the month of October 2025, stock cover did not exceed 2 days for petrol and 2.5 days for diesel. Any delay in loading and transportation of fuel from the ports create fuel shortages as the country has no stocks in strategic reserves. Honourable Deputy Speaker, sir, the ministry is working with Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Decentralization as they explore a mechanism to avail financing that can be utilized in restocking the strategic reserves. On this matter, engagements with Afrexim Bank are also promising. While not relying on the local banks only, we have also explored Afrexim Bank. Honourable Deputy Speaker, sir, fuel products were being sold at non-cost-effective tariff due to non-implementation of automatic price mechanism, which made our fuel prices being lower than our neighboring countries, hence making our fuel to be smuggled into neighboring countries. And the impact of this is a huge growth in consumption. From an average consumption of 52 million litres per month in 2024 to 65 million litres per month in 2025. I will repeat that. The fuel appetite rose so much from 52 million litres per month in 2024 to 65 million litres per month in 2025. It was a jump. A highest figure of imports on record of 81 million was reached in August 2025. This trend places considerable pressure on the scarce forex. And the ministry, through MERA, has immediately started implementing the automatic price management, which has reduced the malpractice of smuggling. My ministry will ensure consistent adherence to the price management, the automatic price management. And my ministry will also ensure that allocation of forex to fuel imports is also prioritized and not to deprive other deserving sectors of the much-needed forex. The ministry has also engaged our security agents to intensify monitoring in order to curb this malpractice. Honourable Deputy Speaker, as a ministry, we have taken this seriously. We will not sit and watch people getting our fuel and depriving the deserving people to get the fuel. As such, we have engaged the Malawi Defence Force as well as Malawi Police. We are aware that vehicles are queuing just to fuel and go and pump the fuel out of the vehicles. And we know there's fuel in these neighborhoods. So don't be surprised if you see our security agents going around to check what is happening. Honourable Deputy Speaker, sir, Malawi, being a landlocked country, has faced some unjustified accessibility challenges, leading to delays in docking of vessels carrying fuel products at the ports of Dar es Salaam, Tanga, and Mtwara in Tanzania, Nacala and Beira in Mozambique, thereby affecting fuel supplies in Malawi. In fact, sometimes a ship can be made to wait for offloading at these ports for over 30 days, thereby critically affecting our fuel supplies in the country. This is being solved by continuous engagements between Malawi government and governments of neighboring countries. My ministry will prioritize engagement with Mozambique so that Malawi can secure land in Nacala for developing our country's dedicated storage facilities for fuel, thus increasing utilization of the rail to transport fuel into the country. Honorable Speaker, sir, logistical capacity challenges continue, and we have also got challenges with our local transporters. Malawian transporters continue to face capacity issues, such as numbers of trucks in good condition to carry fuel products from seaports to Malawi. We do not have adequate trucks in Malawi to do that job. This is attributed equally to failure of the previous government to oversee consistent adherence to automatic price adjustment mechanisms. This has made my ministry to largely depend on international foreign transporters to transport fuel into Malawi, and this leads to a further demand on Forex. In conclusion, Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, the current power and fuel supply situation is indeed worrisome for a nation aspiring to achieve middle-income status. And as we all know, energy is the lifeline of any economy. So while some logistical issues can be addressed quickly, sustainable improvement will depend on adequate foreign exchange allocation, investment in infrastructure, and maintaining strong relationships with our neighboring countries and key stakeholders in energy sector. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I therefore call for collective commitment from all players to implement the immediate restoration and expansion plans I have outlined. My ministry is currently seized with overseeing an immediate return to fuel supply normalcy. This will be speedily achieved. I repeat, this will be speedily achieved. Together, we can stabilize our energy sector and power Malawi's path to industry and prosperity. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Energy, for the boldness in presenting the statement to the House. The chair is being tempted to score the women ministers that have so far presented their ministerial statement a highest score so far. Can I request the Honorable House for a hand of applause to the Honorable Minister for the job well done. Honorable members, I will welcome questions that seek clarifications, no debate. I see Honorable Jinteche rising. Is that in Honorable Nkadabe Jinteche, you are the first to take a question to the Honorable Minister. Then Lilongwe Nyanja. Then we'll go to Baraka Ngwangwa. In that order, please.
First Deputy Speaker, first of all, as a Tonga man, I'm tempted to appreciate the elegancy and the appearance of the Honorable Minister of Energy, because that is in our culture. If you go to Nkatabe, the first thing they will judge you on is your appearance. That matters a lot, political or otherwise. So let me appreciate the elegance of all the honorable women here and the honorable men who are putting on good suits. Honorable Deputy Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister, Honorable Deputy Speaker, First Deputy Speaker, thank you. First Deputy Speaker, let me appreciate the statement by the Honorable Minister of Energy. On July 1964 AD, there was a great fire in Rome. At that time, the emperor was Nero. And he was accused of doing nothing while the city was in flames. He was playing fiddle while Rome is burning. When somebody tells you that you are playing fiddle while Rome is burning, it means there are problems, but you are doing nothing. So let me appreciate the Honorable Minister by saying that they will normalize the fuel situation in the country. There are people who are holding the economy at ransom. It's good that you say that you unleash the security agents to make sure that this practice ends. But I want to ask you, what measures will you put in place to make sure that our laws align with this? Because at one point, we changed the laws to do with vandalism of ESCOM equipments. We raised the fines. So in fuel, those who are involved in vending fuel, once they are caught, because most of the time, the fuel is just confiscated, but nothing is done, they continue the next day. So as a government, what measures are you going to put in place to make sure that this problem is dealt with for once and for all? Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Lilongwe.
Thank you, Your Honor, the First Deputy Speaker. Allow me to appreciate a good statement which has been ably presented by the Minister of Energy. Listening to the Minister of Energy and Mining, she did touch on the need for the megawatts that we can access as a country in terms of hydro. She also touched on solar as well as diesel. I would like to find out from, through you, the First Deputy Speaker, are there plans for this country to also oscillate towards geothermal? Because some of these things we've tried, but they're not giving us meaningful impact. As a country, there are times we need to rise above petty political bickerings and whatnot, and to think of the next generation so that our nation gets to sit to the levels that it's supposed to get. So I'd like to find out, in terms of hydro, you've ably touched. Are there plans for the country or your ministry to also consider geothermal? Because from the point of drilling to the time we're going, let's make it the time you're going to commercialize the same. It's about 4 to 6 years, and it's more reliable than other things. I would like to play as a country, and as someone who is sitting there, to consider going geothermal. So basically, through you, Your Honor, the First Deputy Speaker, I thought that I needed to touch on that one. I understand that we are going to have background noise, because at times our IQs differ, and we have people who are not in government.
Thank you very much. Baraka Ngwangwa. Honourable members, can we stick to the 2-minute rule as stipulated in Standing Order 71 for our questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker. My question relates to the fuel supply aspect. First Deputy Speaker, this last Saturday, the Malawi newspaper carried a story in which they have indicated that DRC had donated 30 million liters of fuel And from these 30 million liters of fuel, Tawanga Sabora, the reporter says, only 2.3 million liters reached Malawi. So there is a mystery on 27.7 million liters. Deputy Speaker, 27.7 million liters translate to 96 billion 950. And of diesel, petrol is 96 billion or so, like that. This is a big issue, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Now, I wanted to ask the minister to comment on this. There might be several possibilities. It might be possible that DRC didn't commit to its promise of donating the whole 30 million, or else it could be that the 27.7 million liters that we are talking about now is still on the way to Malawi. But we are talking of 2023 up to now. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I ask the minister to comment because this is not a small issue. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Thank you very much. Let me guide the House before the minister takes the floor. Honourable Member for Balaka Ngwangwa, history has taught us that newspaper articles are not submissive as evidence to the House, but because the way you quoted it, you were so careful not to dwell on the newspaper article, but you made a reference to it. But submitting it as evidence in the House for the future newspaper article is not part of the evidence. Thank you very much. Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker, sir. There was a question from Honourable Member of Parliament of Chinteche, Nkatabe Chinteche constituency, on what measures we're going to do as we are unleashing the security agencies to curb the malpractice in the fuel trade. What I can say that whatever we're going to do has to be done within the laws. And as a ministry, we'll make sure that I'm sure the security agents, the Malawi Army and the police, they know their limits. They know the parameters in which they're supposed to operate from. They know what they're supposed to do. But on our case, for sure, going forward, we'll make sure that we push for a review of the laws on how to curb fuel preparation. That we're going to do. And obviously, we're going to do this in consultation with all relevant ministries. Secondly, there was a question from Honourable Member of Parliament from Lilongwe Nyanja constituency on our plans to add or to explore generating from geothermal. Yes, we do have those plans as a ministry, particularly around Chiweta area in the north. So we do have those plans to, actually as a ministry, we are open to explore all forms of generating fuel. We are open, as you know, most recently, LIPRI has just pushed in 10 megawatt from biomass. So we are open to all forms of generating fuel in this country. So to answer your question, yes, we are, and we are looking at exploring that in around Chiweta area. And Member of Parliament from Balaka Ngwangwa on the issue to do with fuel from DRC. I must say that you allow me, Honourable, to get back to you with more details. This happened in 2023. There will be another statement. This was in 2023, and I need, okay, and I need to answer. I need to answer with details. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will recognize the honorable member for Chitipa North, Mwanza Central, and the honorable member right at the back.
It's Lilongwe City.
Lilongwe City?
City Lumbads.
Or Lilongwe City Lumbas?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
let's take those three and then we'll move to the government side.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for recognizing Chitipa North constituency. I also wanted to find out from the minister on the presentation she has made. I just wanted to find out, like, what measures have you put in place that there's equity in fuel distribution to reach out to the farthest place? Because usually in Chitipa, we have problems in getting fuel. We go sometimes for a month, no fuel, even if in town, there's fuel. So how are you going to make sure that there's equal distribution when we are normalizing fuel in town? And considering Chitipa, that we also have access to fuel. Thank you very much. I submit.
Mwanza Central.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Let me congratulate the Honorable Minister for a ministerial statement presented colorfully. Thank you very much. But I have a question, Honorable Minister. In your statement, you have indicated that there is a sharp increase in demand. I'm sure there's several possible reasons for that, but I wanted just to find out if at all your ministry is putting specific measures to probably explore, or rather to find other reasons besides the ones that you've explained in your statement. I'm looking at a possibility where fuel loaded at the port may not be getting into the country. There could be other dubious business people or politicians that probably were or may be involved in offloading fuel before it gets into the country. So I just want to find out, Honorable Minister, if at all you've explored that, and if at all there are measures that you've put in place to stop that. Thank you, Honorable Minister, thank you.
Thank you very much. Lilongwe City, Lumbas constituents.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the people of Lumbadzi to ask a question and probably make a comment based on the ministerial statement. Let me join my colleague who has just sat down in congratulating the Honorable Minister for the report eloquently presented. It clearly demonstrates that as a nation, as government, we are appreciating the existing challenge that we have regarding fuel, and therefore the statement provides some solace to the nation. First question, First Deputy Speaker, I'd like to make a clarification first before I come to the question, that I am not, through this question, trying to insinuate that members who are in this House are more important than the people out there that are suffering, looking for fuel. But when you look at the exercise that we are doing right now here, which has national significance, we have also been hit as members of parliament with the fuel crisis. And it's becoming very problematic for us to move up and down to come and deliberate in this August House. I wanted to find out from the minister if arrangements could be made in the interim, as we are here, members of parliament, that somewhere else there could be an allocation of fuel for us to be filling. Otherwise, if the trend continues, we shall have a situation where no member of parliament is in this house because of challenge of fuel. Secondly, Honorable Deputy Speaker, is to talk about the operation Beza. I think from the fuel operation Beza, I think it's very clear from the statement that the target group in this case are those with Zigubu. But I wanted to really find out if this operation Beza is also going to target the actual filling stations. Because right now we have other filling stations who may claim that they have no fuel in their pumps, and yet if we go and deep stick, we shall find fuel in those filling stations. Are we going to ensure that also this malpractice is curbed through the Operation Beza? Thank you so much, Deputy Speaker, sir.
I see, before the minister, I see the leader of opposition. Why are you rising, leader?
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, and congratulations. First Deputy Speaker, this is the House of Record. I would like to make mention that in the respect of human rights and fundamental principles of freedom, either you are a member of parliament or just an ordinary person, we are all equal. I therefore stand to collect the statement that has just been issued by one of our members, because I know out there people would be thinking that members of parliament are given a special treatment, and then that will actually be misunderstood. So I hope I have clarified on this one. And 2-3 more issues through you, First Deputy Speaker, and I hope I can be heard in silence. First Deputy Speaker, I have been in this house for some few days. The 2 statements presented before the House, I think one from Minister of Agriculture and today from Minister of Energy, you would actually see the sense of nationhood, the importance of their statements, and I think we are moving towards the right direction. Allow me, therefore, just to provide some 2-3 clarifications. Number one is that the Mozambican government had already given us a place in Mozambique, and I am happy that the minister has picked it. Number two is that the automatic price mechanism will definitely mean that there will not be static prices of fuel, because it will be acted as is. Probably our interest as Malawians would be on how the minister will ensure that that does not translate into skyrocketing of prices of basic commodities, to avoid some people who would take that advantage and probably inflict pain on ordinary people. The third one, through you, First Deputy Speaker, is the issue of solar PH, where we are generating 101 megawatts, and that includes the Nanjoka. One of the problems that Malawi and many other African countries are facing is where we are duped, because we only focus on power generation. And then we don't focus that solar PH is one of the enablers that can give us carbon trading. And then as a result, the independent power producers enjoy 100% of our own carbon credits. And then
Honourable members, order.
First,
Leader
Deputy
of
Speaker.
Opposition, consider winding up.
First, Deputy Speaker, I'm happy that they are able to appreciate. What I wanted is our able Minister of Energy would actually explore, because that would also help to reduce the huge capital investments that we give these independent power producers, because they generate, they feed into the main grid, they charge us. And that would be offset if we could be able also to charge them the tonnage of carbon CO2 equivalent that they produce. And Line, a very long end, Malawi tend to benefit. And as I conclude, First Deputy Speaker, I have really enjoyed the very brilliant, wise presentation that the Minister of Energy has presented. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Leader of Opposition, for those sentiments. I don't know, Leader of Opposition, I don't know what should I do. You seem to be withdrawing a question from a member who has their own constituency. Actually, the member is rising right now. Maybe leadership that side can guide the chair on what we should do.
First Deputy Speaker, he had 2 questions, and then I was clarifying on the first question, looking at the importance and the impact that question would actually bear on us as members of Parliament.
Thank you. Honourable Minister of Energy.
Honourable Speaker, I wanted to make in view of the clarification, if you can allow me.
Yeah, please clarify your question.
Thank you so much, Honourable Deputy Speaker. In view of the clarification from my wonderful leader of opposition, I'd like to indicate that it is important for me to withdraw the first question. But my solace and my conviction still tells me that before asking the question, I clearly indicated that the question did not mean that we in this House are more important than the people out there. So I withdraw the statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Honour Minister, with that question withdrawn, please take note.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker. There was a question from Chitipa North, from Member of Parliament of Chitipa North constituency. Actually, I don't know whether it's a question, but I think she is bemoaning lack of equity where distribution of fuel is concerned in Chitipa. My comment would be that distribution of fuel should indeed be equally distributed across the country, and access of such should be equitable. And in our case, where pricing is concerned, it's the same across the country. From Chitipa to Nsanje, it is the same. So I think what remains there is for the distributors or the filling station owners to grab the opportunity, because the pricing is the same across the country. So I think what is needed is that there should be more traders in fuel in Chitipa who should take advantage of this and make sure that they get to the furthest point of this country. Second question came from Neno, Member of Parliament of Neno Central. Mwanza Central, yes. Actually, the question was to check whether to ask us whether we've checked all reasons for the huge appetite, the recent huge appetite in fuel. What I can say is that yes, I narrated the reasons. Of course, one other reason is that we suspect there could be people that are trying to okay, let me say this. I don't want to be misquoted. I don't want to be misquoted. Yes, we have looked at many reasons, or many of the reasons that could be there that are causing this sharp increase of purchasing of fuel from our filling stations. And of course, that could be one of the reasons that trucks probably do offload fuel in neighboring countries and not in Malawi, taking advantage of the higher pricing in the neighboring countries as opposed to the prices in Malawi. But on our part, almost 80% of our fuels are traded in by NOCMA, or 80%, and 20% are traded by PIL. So on our part, we make sure that whatever is being traded, it has to be reconciled. Of course, we have heard that there could be other trucks that do not come in, and they just offload outside the country and come in, just do the papers and all that. It's something that is possible, so I think we'll explore that further, we'll check that further to see if that could be one of the reasons, but it's possible that could be one of the reasons. But what we have found out ourselves is what I just narrated in my statement. Thank you so much. Now on a comment from Lilongwe City, Lumbad's constituency. I like the word that you have used, Operation Bwezani. Yes, what I can say is that as a ministry, we're going to spare nobody. No one is going to be spared. So as we check the households, we're also going to check the filling stations. We are aware that some of these rackets also include the filling station owners. They are part of this. So no one is going to be spared. So the security agents are checking everywhere just to make sure that we stop this malpractice. And talking to leader of opposition on the carbon credits coming from solar generation. Yes, as a ministry, we do have, or we have developed a framework on carbon credit trading. And as you know, carbon credits is the in thing now. So we have developed that to make sure that we benefit from everything, whether it's solar, hydro, our forestries, we are exploring everywhere. And that would be also another way of getting forex, injecting forex into the country. So for sure, we know that we have solar, we do have some IPPs in solar that are operating off the grid, but we do have others that are injecting onto the grid. So whatever, whether it's off the grid or onto the grid, we have to make sure that we maximize. So we do have a framework that we have for all renewable energy. We do have, thank you. And you also touched on the skyrocketing of prices coming from application of the automatic price adjustment. Yes, that has to be checked. That has to be checked. But I think first things first. What needs to happen first is that we have to do the right thing, because all the mess is coming because of non-adherence to the price, the automatic price adjustment. So we need to do that so that we stabilize everything, and hopefully people are going to do the right things. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I think I've touched on all the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Allow me to recognize Blantyre, Mrs. Chichiri constituency.
Blantyre City, Chichiri, Mrs.
Yeah, Blantyre City, Chichiri, Mrs. constituency. Yes. I picked two from here. I'll go Rump West and then Karonga City. Karonga Town constituency. In that order, honourable members.
Thank you very much. Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the voice of Blantyre City, Chichiri Misesa, to ask a question on a very, very important statement that has been made here by the able Minister of Energy. I would like to know or to understand from the Minister, because throughout her statements, she has talked about the electricity that has been generated through hydro and solar. So I'm looking at the Shiri River where we extract our electricity. It might reach some point when the water levels might go down, and then we might have a number of challenges to have electricity being supplied in this country. And also, when we look at the solar energy, it relies on a number of batteries so that it operates, which means that it's not even reliable. In the coming near future, we might have also challenges. So I wanted to ask if the Minister is thinking of coming up with the generation of electricity using coal. Because I've seen in other countries like US, they have benefited from that electricity. In England also, they have done the same. They've got a lot of benefits. I believe if we can manage it well, like how they do in other countries, by putting a larger exhaust so that the smoke should not reach the people on the ground, I think we can still have a reliable electricity that can solve this problem. So I would like to ask a minister if at all her ministry has got plans to use coal to generate electricity. Thank you.
Rumbi West.
First Deputy Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity once again for the people of Rumbi West to ask a question to the able minister, who, to borrow the words from my uncle, appreciated her appearance and the statement. First Deputy Speaker, sir, we are nearing a very big program of FISIP. I wanted an assurance from the Minister of Energy if there is a discussion between her and her counterpart, the Minister of Agriculture, so that the fuel that is coming should enable quick delivery of FISIP, because we may be crying from the crisis that we have, and it is here for some time, but we might also be nursing another crisis of food insecurity next year if the cheapest fertilizer ever before in this country of 10,000 kwacha is not delivered in time. Just an assurance. Secondly, we have fufu in Rumpi as you go to Chiweta, which has a potential to generate 200 megawatts. What is making it very difficult for the country to develop that fully after all the necessary feasibility studies were already completed in around 2017 or 2019. Lastly, First Deputy Speaker, sir, we have conflicting information from this House. We are celebrating the last cohort. I happened to be in that boat last time, where the government side then celebrated that we are saving a lot of money from G2G importation of fuel. Now, it shows that what we gotten was not true reflection of what is there. How much are we going to save? And what is really there to G2G? And in addition to that, as I finalize, We celebrated that a cargo ship, a cargo train from Mozambique has reached Malawi, and it carried some fuel. Now we are struggling. From the statement of the able minister, it says that we can stay at Tanga or in Tanzania for 30 days and they charge 30,000 as demurrages. What is happening with that? Did the previous government took away that train that they brought in this country so that this fuel crisis? As I sit down,
very much.
Can MERA revert to updates so that we reduce this line of people sleeping on filling stations where they will not access fuel, so that they can be updating whether we have at Chimsapo or in Chitipa.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member.
To do, so that people can be sleeping in homes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Karonga Town.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Finally, you have yielded the floor to Karonga Town constituency. I've been standing here for several times, but you have never recognized me. Thank you very much.
Honourable Member,
Mr.
Go straight to your question. Honourable Member, go straight to your question.
Deputy Speaker.
Desist from reflecting on the chair. Go straight to your question, Honourable
Speaker, let me join the other honourable members for congratulating the honourable minister for her detailed ministerial statement. I have only two issues seeking clarification. The first one is I want her to maybe clarify or indicate more information as to how much stock do we have in country, in transit, and at the ports. And how much has the DPP government imported so far, maybe awaiting delivery? We wanted comfort from the minister so that perhaps people can be comforted. How much longer can we wait in the queues? Or how much longer can we wait until this situation is normalized? The second issue, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, is on, perhaps she may have answers now or tomorrow. I wanted to find out more on the LPG gas. People are queuing for LPG gas. We are actually moving away from using charcoal and using LPG gas. So what is the situation with regards to gas in the country? Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Perhaps you are going to give me a chance to give my maiden speech later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Every honourable member of this House will be given an opportunity for a maiden speech, as this House is for speaking. That's why we come here to debate issues, and I will make sure to recognize you when that time comes. Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker. There was a question from Honourable Member of Parliament from Blantyre City, Chichiri Misesa. Actually, rather a concern. The issue is, as a country, I think we have relied so much on, or solely, to a large extent, on hydro-generated power. Actually, about 96% of our power is hydro-generated. The rest is what we get from other sources. And the hydro is mainly on the Shire River. So I think his concern is that we may not be managing a risk there. What if in an event that water levels in Shire River go down, what would happen? Honourable Deputy Speaker, as a ministry, we are also exploring power plants off Shire River. And I think as shared by Honorable Member of Parliament Rumpi West, yes, indeed, feasibility studies were done on South Rukuru River, that's Fufu, and it's about 260 megawatt. And we're also exploring on Bua River, about 80 megawatts. And of course, don't forget that we're also exploring other forms of power. But now, talking about coal-fired power, as much as we would want to go there full throttle, because we do have deposits of coal, a lot of that, Kamwamba, and up north, Chiweta, we do have deposits. We are also, we're exploring that, and I think I mentioned in my speech, we are looking at Kamwamba project of 300 megawatt coal-generated power. But at the same time, we're trying to see that we are in tandem with international protocol. Because as you know, management of pollution has to be done properly. And if we have to begin to earn the carbon credits, we have to make sure that we are, yes. So my answer is that we are exploring all forms, but we are also very careful on what we do with our management of pollution. Thank you so much. Then, Honorable Deputy Speaker, there was a question from Rumpi West again. I think I've answered the first one to do with Fufu, but the second one was to do with supply of fuel during distribution of fertilizer. Yes, as a ministry, we are aware that it is important that we supply adequate fuel. This is why I mentioned that on our part, I shared with you what is what is there now. Between now and Friday, be assured we're going to have enough fuel. And as a ministry, we are not sleeping. We're making sure that we get the Reserve Bank and the Minister of Finance prioritize forex to importation of fuel so that there is no gap. Because between now and Friday, there is that constant supply. And I can assure you that beyond Friday, we should see more trucks coming in. So we are engaging with Minister of Finance and RBM. Then there was a question, I don't know whether to create a question, on G2G system of procurement versus open tender system. I think open tender systems allows for competitive dealings. Yeah, at least something is open and you are assured of value for money. Unlike whereby you just strike your deals with the one or two suppliers. So as a country, we are committed, as a government, we are committed to make sure that we do the right thing. We don't get conned by, so to say, readily available markets. So I would rather open it up, let people compete, we get the best pricing, we get the best value for money. So I would rather go for open tender as opposed to G2G. Yes. And there's also a question on where we are with the rail line from Tanzania, from Mozambique to Malawi. I will not comment on what was discussed in other sittings, but I think in my comment, in my statement, I mentioned that we have continued to engage the neighboring countries, and more so Mozambique, for us to acquire land in Nakala so that at least we construct our own storage facilities. And as you know, Nakala into Malawi, Lilongwe is closer. Then we're also exploring that route to see if we can get that project done. Let's get a rail line from Nakala straight into Lilongwe. That's the plan of this government. You have also Member of Parliament Urumpi East, Urumpi West, yes. Yes, Mera, we'll get Mera to resume giving updates to the nation. It is important indeed for planning reasons and of course to avoid, to lessen speculations. So it is very important that Mera does that. So thank you so much on that. Karonga Central, there was a question.
Karonga Town.
Town Council, okay.
Karonga Town.
Town Council, okay. Karonga Town Council, I think your question